Aggressive getting to pit road. You could see they tried to go to the outside of Daniel Suarez. Oh, Suarez had to go up to miss Keselowski and made heavy contact with the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
Didn't look like Blaney was part of that group that was going to pit because that inside lane was fill up.
Yeah, there was no way Blaney was going to be able to make it to pit road there. Oh. But what are the... So I just wonder, was Blaney going to try to maybe sneak to the outside or in that gap between the 17 and the 2? I don't see how that was going to be possible. He had to have known that Suarez has already made his pit stop.
But he also knew he had Ryan Newman on his outside. Couldn't get any further to the right. Newman was there.
I gotta say, this strategy was looking as if it was going to work out incredible for the Fords because they had made up so much time being in a
saving gas or just being conservative to stay on the wreck. And then we thought,
and there it is. One car goes sliding across the infield grass. William Byron, who won his qualifying race here on Thursday, and that will change everything.
Certainly has changed it for that Exalted 24. Gets to the rear bumper of the 13, little surge of the 47. Oh, he gets to the left side of that rear bumper. And we've seen when you try to bump draft, you need to be either the center or to the right. Oh, it almost looked like Stenhouse was going to poke out and try to go by him and maybe misjudged it, made contact, turned William Byron right around. You know, those guys had so much anticipation after that great duel on Thursday. You know, you could just see as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. moved left, he just caught that left rear of the bumper.
Into the safer barrier that now lines the inside of this speedway as well as the outside.
See, they're coming up to put him a lap down.
Ooh.
Oh, it looked to me like, you know, Quinn just came up a little bit more than what the 10 of Almirola was expecting, and they just touched and ended up turning him into the outside lane. That was a close call for our 10 of Eric Almirola also. Now those Fords had dropped to the back to try to stay clear of all this mess. And you see BJ nowhere to go, tries to avoid that wreck, and then he catches the outside wall.
11. Quinn Houff and B.J. McLeod. Trouble in the back straightaway. Trouble.
Correct. Here's the big one. Man.
Well, there goes half the field.
Sure does.
And it's Ryan Newman leading them around. Oh.
Jimmy Johnson hopes in his final Daytona 500.
Kurt Busch, another former Daytona 500 winner. Brad Keselowski trying to win it for the first time, all torn up. Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, one of the fastest Fords in this entire field. And here's Martin Truex, who couldn't get back to the lead pack.
You can see Joey Logano really aggressive to the rear bumper of the 10. He's going to push him all the way up to the 2. And they just, right before the 10 gets there, there's a little bit of movement. And that little bit of movement, when you make that much contact, turns your car right around. That's exactly what happened to Brad Keselowski and the 10 of Almirola. Sort of swaying back and forth right before he made contact with the 2. Hooks his bumper, turns him around.
Oh, he slammed Alex Bowman. And then it's on. And for the second time in less than a handful of years, Eric Almirola ends up being knocked out of riding with Jimmy Johnson, our Chevy Cam.
Ooh. Just gets slammed. One of the cars loses control. I think that was Martin Truex Jr. Came down, made heavy contact with. Really, I mean, Eric Almirola was basically the meat between the sandwich there. He's getting pushed from Joey Logano. He's going up to the rear bumper. He has no choice but to bump draft the 2. All Brad can do is try to hold the steering wheel straight. I mean, this is just aggressive racing in the end of this race.
Still green, and here they come.
And here. not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney.
But now here comes a huge run by Ryan Blaney, being pushed by Denny Hamlin. He tries to go to the outside, then the inside. They lock bumpers and turns Ryan Newman around. Upside down he goes. Corey LaJoie coming along, making contact.
Just lifting Newman's car up and over. Ryan Blaney finishing 2nd. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the onrushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over. Trouble back straightaway. Around goes the 47 on the very first lap. Ricky Stenhouse with front end damage.
You can see Reddick still on the bottom. Oh, Stenhouse almost 4 wide at the very bottom, makes contact, sends him directly into that inside wall and then into that safer barrier.
And in that initial skirmish, one of those cars involved was Quinn Houff, who has never turned a lap here, and yet started this race from 27th. So damage front and rear to Stenhouse. That looks,
yeah, heavy
I don't know,
damage.
Jeff, pretty terminal.
And just
Ricky Stenhouse's day has gone up in flames after crashing to bring out the first caution. As I said on Fox News yesterday, if we can just get past lap 1.
Never run, not use up too much of those tires, not build those air pressures up too much. And he's also, Jimmy Johnson going around.
Into the wall hard.
Unbelievable, our leader. Shaking his head, boy, you know he's frustrated with that. So you see Jimmy turns down low, runs all 4 on that apron like he's been doing. Oh, the 17 had to check up just a little bit, and Jimmy's right front made contact and turned him around. Boy, it didn't take much, just the tiniest bit. Oh, yeah, you can see the 17 of Buescher just gets a little loose, makes a little contact, outside wall, checks up. He and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, that Ally Chevrolet, make contact. That did not work out for, Kyle Busch turns Chase Elliott.
Hard into the wall. And almost back up into traffic.
Oh, Cliff Boyer getting pushed. Almost collects him. Man. I'm not sure what that was all about from Kyle Busch. Here's why he's upset. Goes to the outside. Follows Denny Hamlin by the 18. And Kyle Busch just moves up and misjudges it completely. Gets into the left rear, spins Chase Elliott around, sends him into the inside wall.
I mean, this is right in the middle of the straightaway. It's not a case of the car sliding up the racetrack. It got turned there.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is you're looking in your mirror to see if you can get you're looking at Kevin Harvick, some of these other guys, how they're closing in. You're listening to your spotter, but I mean that's more than just a misjudge by an inch. I mean, that was not even close.
11th caution flag.
Oh boy.
Trying Hamlin for 4.
Oh, Stenhouse, heavy damage. Big wreck. Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer.
Oh, Ricky Stenhouse.
Bowman.
He is having a hero or zero kind of week. And it sounds as if Stenhouse may have gotten turned here.
Now, so here comes Jimmy Johnson. Comes off of turn 2. And he just makes contact with the left rear of the 47. I don't know if Stenhouse had to check up a little bit when he caught the 42 of Kenseth there, but just looked to me like maybe Jimmy misjudged getting into the in behind the 47 of Stenhouse.
I think Kurt Busch may also have some damage from that one.
Well, I'd like to see that one again.
Well, let's ride with Kurt Busch. I think he was just alongside or in front of it. Nope. Back of it, hard to tell there.
Ooh, oh, that's pretty heavy damage for Kurt Busch.
Our cars are going to get knocked out of the race from this one.
And Chris Buescher, watch this wreck folds. A 47 hits the inside wall, comes up the racetrack. They barely miss it here.
Talladega. Here's another of the questions in the $1,000 Fox Bet Super 6 game. Oh, big spin. Chase Elliott. And everybody scatters. Several years ago, they paved that entire backstretch apron at Talladega, and it's a good thing they did.
You see heavy damage to the front end of that car. Then you see, look at the right rear's down. I mean, all the tires down. Big damage. He was running fourth the last time they came by the earlier. Can't see what's in front of him. He's just pushing Chase Elliott. Chase tries to make some evasive action to go around the 22. Those bumpers connect and turns Chase Elliott right around. Here comes Austin Dillon. Makes contact with that right rear than the 9.
Wow, how did William Byron miss him? I wonder if that was as close from up high as it looked from here.
So here comes the push to the rear bumper. Chase Elliott. Now he has a huge run coming. And he just, he's got to figure out where to go with it. He doesn't want to run right in the back of the 22. He tried to hedge to the inside at that same time. And that's the problem. When you're getting pushed like that, you really can't turn the steering wheel. And Brad Keselowski's on his rear bumper, and it's going to hook that car and turn it around. You saw that very last little bit of contact. That's what sent Chase Elliott around as he tried to go to the inside of the 22. The 38, John Hunter Nemechek. Oh, big crash. Eric Jones.
Going hard into the wall. That's Tyler Reddick right with him. And we are back to caution for the 5th time today. Lap 72. Heavy damage on the right side of Reddick's car.
It looks like Eric Jones ahead of him. Is Eric Jones going to get loose? Oh, no, he just checks up trying to go around a slower car, and Tyler Reddick had a huge head of steam coming. And as Jones moved down to go around that slower car, Tyler Reddick and he make contact, sends both of them around into the inside wall.
They were battling for 13th. There was a slow car to the outside of Jones. Oh, and he just misses the Fitch inertia barrels there at the head end of pit road and catches the pit wall.
No, but thank goodness there is that safer barrier on that inside wall to help that impact.
Well, these two came into the race separated by just 1 championship point, 16.
And aerodynamics, the 9 of Chase Elliott are running today.
Now Mike and Jeff.
Oh, Kyle Busch, heavy contact. Wow.
With 9 laps to go in stage 2, Kyle Busch
Now that's
piles up his Camry.
That's something you don't see very often. He was in a pretty heated battle with Ryan Blaney.
Virtually, we don't know if there was contact. There was a lapped car involved as Kyle Busch was racing Ryan Blaney.
Well, the GPS is what sets this up. And I mean, to me, that thing is usually pretty accurate, that virtual car, as far as from positioning. So pretty good chance that somehow Blaney was able to get to the inside of the 18 and they made contact.
And Kyle Busch. And here's a NASCAR ENG camera that shows you what happened here. ENG is an acronym for electronic news gathering. They were shooting footage.
Well, there's a huge advantage to run right around the bottom. Oh, see Bubba Wallace moving.
Yep.
Michael McDowell up the racetrack. Oh, is Michael going to turn
turned around and hard in the wall.
Bubba Wallace, no. Oh, McDowell's caught up in that too. Remember, Bubba Wallace in the running for the fan vote.
However, to get the fan vote, you have to have a car that is capable of racing in the All-Star race.
Well, he doesn't have one now, Mike. I don't think he can fix this car. He's getting out.
Now, you don't have to finish on the lead lap or anything else, but you have to be able to compete.
So you can see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. opened up the door for Bubba Wallace to get to the inside of Michael McDowell. What Michael McDowell's doing right now is just running these guys really tight. But Bubba Wallace decided, I'm going to move you up out of the groove. He does that. And it just, boy, hard to see. Bubba came up a little bit earlier on the straightaway, but then the 34 came back down and clipped him in that right rear. So here's the initial contact. Once you make that contact, Mike, you better make it significant enough to get free of that car, or there's a chance something like that's going to happen. They're going to pay back. You see, they made a little contact right there. When they made contact, I don't know if Bubba came up or what, but McDowell got into the wall slightly, and as he came off the wall, made contact. Here's a better shot at this. So watch Bubba. See, he comes up a little. Now the 34 just kind of turned left to get back down to Bubba. Don't know if he was just trying to rattle his cage, Mike, or turn him.
And
but,
then William Byron got into him. Here is William Byron's take on it.
Man, that's a big hit right there. This just changes everything.
Quinn, just 22 years old.
Oh, he's coming down to try to get to pit road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, got Matty D, too.
Oh,
He did. I'm assuming he was trying to get to pit road and pitting from
can't do that.
the middle of the racetrack. Yeah, he was trying to come to pit road from the middle of the racetrack.
That was a huge hit.
I don't think any of the guys had a clue that he was going to be doing that.
So
Trying to get to the quarter panel of Denny Hamlin. But Chase is going to be able to push that Atlanta car back out front. More wrecking.
And around goes the 95 and the 37.
Hard hit.
Right into the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's awful.
Ryan Preece in the 37.
Fantastic.
That's Ryan talking.
Glad to hear that.
Put the winning it down. Man, that's good to see.
Yeah.
that was scary. That's one of those wrecks that when you're watching it, or especially if you're Ryan Preece in that car, the angle at which you're approaching that inside wall.
It was a violent crash. Scary.
Almost upside down. We see the 17. And look at the AMR team right there. And how about that? Frustration to climb out of the car, but still, man.
Got a great run going there. Like a 17. Oh, no, ahead of them. The 95 gets in the wall.
Christopher Bell and Ryan Newman. Looked like Ryan Newman got into Christopher Bell trying to get up in front of him. Then they make contact.
Oh.
Poor Ryan Preece. We talked about he's had a string of last place finishes, and wow, such a Junior and I in this booth, when he was heading to that wall, we were both cringing. Just not what you want to see, but it's good to see him get out of that car. Look at this angle of impact.
So violent. 3,400 pounds of race car just thrown up into the air after it bounced off that inside wall.
You see the soft wall moves as it should, the steel barrier, foam, and then concrete behind it.
Look how fast he's headed in the inside wall there. No way slowing the car down. Helpless feeling.
So as violent as we saw there with Ryan Preece in the...
With this change, we got a wreck on the backstretch. One car spinning around on the back straightaway. Kurt Busch.
That's Kurt Busch. They got into the wall, and you see all the damage to the left front.
Heavy damage.
Nose damage.
That's going to be a day ender, I think, for Kurt Busch. Shocking.
We're done.
He was one of the drivers I had
done.
circled.
Wow.
So let's take a look right here. We have the 20 underneath him, the 1 up the banking in the second lane. Is there contact? Yeah, just a little bit of contact from the 20 car. It looked like the 1 might have got out of the gas just a little bit. And here's that straightaway we talked about in the race breakdown, Rick, 9 degrees. There's huge damage to the left rear quarter panel of the 20 car from, I'm guessing, the 88.
Still there, bumper.
Right here. All these guys checking
Now,
up.
bumper. Barely there.
Yeah, the 88 got a bunch of damage to the right front.
Yeah, the 88's right front. I didn't see the quarter panel, but the right front corner of the 88 is destroyed.
The next flag will end the race. Martrex Jr. out front. Now William Byron fighting on the inside for the lead and the win. They run behind him again.
Stay with your teammate.
They continue to fight
You're clear.
through 3 and 4. William Byron looking for his first ever win in the NASCAR Cup Series. A win, a secured spot in the playoffs. William Byron's going to win. If they thought the drivers were not in danger, if they were involved in an accident, they let them race all the way back to the checkered flag.
Clint Boyer hit the wall off turn 2. This is down the back straightaway. Corey LaJoie gets turned around. Hard in the wall.
Oh, there's Almirola. And Ty Dillon also making big contact.
Lap 108, you're clear. 108 at the line here.
Oh, we got a crash.
48 goes around. The big one happening. The one's upside down.
Slow, big wreck behind you.
Kurt Busch climbed all over the top of the 41 of Custer. The 2 is around. Playoff contenders involved. Kurt Busch won a week ago. He's safe into the round of 8. Everyone else is still fighting for points and positions. The 62, Brendan Gaughan, his final NASCAR race was taking place, and he has severe damage to that car.
14 car has the 48 car out of control through the trioval and gets into the left rear quarter panel and turns the 48.
Yeah, right there. The 14's pushing the 48. Gets him turning around. Now, off the right. Kurt Busch way up in the air. Fortunately, came down on his tires. There it starts, right there. That trial, we talked about it earlier, that is the worst place. That's where your car has the least amount of grip around this racetrack.
And remember, these race cars are 3,400 pounds flying through the air like toy cars.
Watch him on the front, right there on 3 up, right there, low, straight, low, come on, straight, hold the brake, that's coming. Left, all right, hold the brake right there. We're just gonna have a little bit of damage.
So right there, it starts. It seems like it gets calmed down, but another bit of contact. Now the 48's around into the side of the 1.
And the 1's headed into the outside wall at full speed. Frightening view out the front of that car. As you know, that impact's coming. Anywhere from 30 to 40 G's head on into the fence.
Clint Boyer in stage 1 decided to back out of it. In this stage, he decided to go try to get some points.
And look at there on the right side of the screen, the 18 car, Kyle Busch trying to avoid the wreck. Slides up into Brendan Gaughan. Jimmy, look at the hands on the wheel. Whoa.
He was turning hard right, and the car was still going left.
Anytime you get pushed in the left rear quarter panel, the way the arrow works on these cars, it just spins the lead car out. More times than not.
A lot of cars involved. There were 11 laps to go in stage 2.
Kyle's trying to miss the 48 as he's coming off the wall and gets a little bit of contact in the right rear tire.
Look at that, how quickly that car.
The contact, the head-on hit into the outside walls. Really. The inside lines together.
Oh, Bubba Wallace with a big move to get to that 3 wide. leader of that outside line.
He got a big
move.
shove.
Yeah, it was a great move, but there's no organization.
Oh, he gets turned. Into the wall he goes.
Wrecking behind you here.
Bubba Wallace into the wall, and the caution has come out. There'll be a third overtime.
Bubba went up there to try to get the momentum from that high side, but it disorganized, and then he was trying to find some energy off any car he could find.
To make something happen, as you said, Junior, it was going really well. Then it all got kind of disorganized right here, and now trying to find his way back to the bottom, or just, you know, don't know if he was thinking to get in front of the 37 there, or if it's just Talladega, just a Talladega wreck, you know. So easy to watch from our viewpoint and say, oh, guy should have done this, should have done that, but it's just Talladega. See it all the time.
So damage to the 2 as well, because the 43 got into the side of him.
The 88, does he get through? He gains a little bit of damage there. The 3 car of Austin Dillon, who has now worked himself back onto the lead lap.
That is amazing.
And he's involved in this accident as well.
And with this caution, see right here, to get another shot of this. See Bubba just coming down the racetrack a little bit. Priest maybe up the racetrack a little bit. Just both trying to get the best position they can. But all of these cars that were low on fuel, now it's more laps under caution.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in a position where I think you'll have to see more cars coming to pit road.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. All the radios I'm listening to, basically, everybody's feeling they're going to have to get fuel, or with this fewer cars in the lead lap, you just risk it and run out. But that may lead to more green light checkers.
This is riding along with Bubba on the helmet.
So this was that run he got, Junior. Huge momentum.
He looks in the mirror and he sees he's lost his help, so he's trying to get down here in front of the 37 car, where he's trying to just get any kind of help he can off the back end of his car, get some energy from the put.
You hear, you know what you don't hear right
Oh,
now?
no.
Oh, my goodness. What has happened to the 42?
At Kenseth into
Yeah.
the tire barriers.
I thought I saw some smoke heading down into turn 3, not quite into that turn. So this is right before turn 3. We're blocked from view because of those big Bank of America banners, but
In that second lane, making it work.
Up the track.
And the 42 slides, tags the 43. Bubba Wallace back into traffic, and the outside wall caution comes out.
Heavy damage to the 43. You saw it live. Started with a little stack up. The 42 got loose in front of the 11 as they stack up off the corner.
Heavy damage to the 42 as well. This ground
42
is
checked
so
up.
wet.
11 got a back of him, turned him down into us.
Look at that damage right there. We talked about it. We saw an Xfinity car go through the grass all the way back on Saturday. No real issue because the grass was dry, saturated.
Matt Kenseth, just car gets wiggles, then runs up in front of Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin really nowhere to go, gets into the back of the 42. Look at the 42 just get destroyed when he went in that grass. So we talked about he just got a little bit loose, and just somebody, he didn't have anywhere to go. Right here, loose, right up in front of Denny Hamlin, now out of control. Bubba Wallace, nowhere to go. Now only thing he can do is lock it down and hope. He did get into Eric Almirola there.
He did. I didn't see that the first time through. And Jeff, I know this sounds silly, but I want to ride on board with Denny Hamlin in the 11. You know, talk about flashing in front of you right here. We're going to see the wiggle. I want to see how hard he hit. I tell you, Jeff, that's not a slight bit of contact. I think the 11 is fine as far as mechanical issues, but as fast as this racetrack is, you can easily separate the nose, have a hole in the nose. It will affect downforce. We have to keep an eye on the 11. That's shot by the 42 in the wet grass. Huge, huge wreck.
Let's ride along with Bubba Wallace. DoorDash camera.
Coming hard on the bottom. Down. Son of a bitch.
No, I mean, nothing he could do, right? I mean, Jeff, that's
Yeah,
just,
there's nothing.
you know.
Sometimes they start. See right here, Matt Kenseth gets loose the same way Denny Hamlin got loose, but someone was there, and that contact sends Matt Kenseth around.
Why do crew chiefs and drivers have sleepless nights in the playoffs? What did Denny Hamlin do wrong there? I mean, nothing, right? So fortunate to get through this, but say he was the 43, right? Somebody else's accident takes you out.